Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Dallas Stars franchise mode here in NHL 20. So in last episode we had the draft and also the re-sign stage, and we did let go of a long-term Dallas Stars player, that being Thomas Lindback. We also, I think, let go of a couple other guys, and we do still have some RFAs that will be getting signed throughout the rest of this offseason. But we are here in free agency, looking to maybe make some big changes, or well, not huge changes, but like ones that could help us win a Stanley Cup. So we did need a depth defender, and lucky enough, Sergei Zubov, who played with the Dallas Stars in real life for quite a long time, is available. So we are going to be signing him as our depth defender, because he's like a good fit for the top four, and like he'll be a good depth defenseman to bring in. He's a two-way defender, so he's not one of those offensive defensemen like we had with Lindback. So yeah, he should be pretty good. He's 36 years of age, so he might drop off to being a depth defender, which is good. But he does put up a decent amount of points for his overall. As you can see, 41 points with Hartford in the last season. I'm hoping we get to be able to play him, because if we do, that would be nice, but at the same time, we might not want to. I don't know, because Sliger right now is potentially going to drop off as well, and he's on our top 6, so he might end up being a depth defender, and Zubov might play depending on who's like the better overall, or the better fit maybe even. So yeah, we're going to sign Sergei Zubov. He wants 2 years, but we are going to give him a 1-year deal. And I think just over $3 million, like 3.5, should get this done. There's no other teams interested, so. And I'm also going to have to make sure to edit the jersey numbers, because I don't want him being number 21. I want him being number 56. It was actually kind of funny that I was looking at signing him last episode, because last episode was actually number 56 so of the series, so that's kind of neat. And then we aren't going to make, I don't think, any other signings. I was debating about picking up another third-line center, because currently Mike Modano has, he's like an 82 overall. He's probably going to retire and drop off at the end of the season, I would assume. So he might be a depth defender, depth center to start the season, which it would not be that good for us to have. Like, we'd have a really weak center core on the bottom 6 by comparison if we did that. So if Modano drops off for some reason, we're going to probably have to use him as a depth forward, and then we'll probably trade for a third-line center, I think, because there is some good centers available at the moment, but I don't really want to pick up one and then say Mike Modano doesn't drop off, but I have a feeling he will. I just don't know what to. Like, a lot of these guys don't really match our system at the moment, like at least multiple lines. Like, there's this guy, Stefan Utsdorf, but he's not even that good. So, yeah, I think we're just probably going to end up making a trade instead at the start of the season if he drops off. This guy fits only our special teams. Yeah, we're probably going to only do that one signing of signing Sergei Zubov, I think. I'm pretty sure that's all we needed, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a look at our roster quickly again, just to make sure, because I don't want to kind of go too quick and then we end up not having enough players. Because our RFAs, we could actually sign a better backup still, better than DePenta, and let DePenta get like maybe claimed. But I would rather keep DePenta, I think, because he's a really cheap option. So at the moment for centers, I'm excited for Riley. He's going to be in the NHL probably within 2 seasons, I would assume. But yeah, with our center core, see, like, I don't really want to be playing Franzen and Martinson, like one of them on the 3rd line and one of them on the 4th line, because that's kind of a bit weak to have 2 79s as centers. Like, having an 82 there is pretty fine, but if Modano drops off, then it might not be as good, so we might have to pick up a 3rd line center. And then we have all these guys. McCardle might make the NHL, and then in terms of Hewitt, I don't know if he'll be in the NHL this season or not. He might be in the AHL if Modano drops. I'll probably send him to the AHL, and then Modano could still be depth. But at the moment, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, see, we got a lot of players. So yeah, we're not going to sign any forwards at the moment, just to play it safe, because if Modano drops off, then we will pick up somebody, but if he doesn't, then we will probably not sign anybody, I don't think. So yeah, let's begin the sim to next season. Let's go 1 month at a time just so we can maybe see free agent signings. Or am I going to even look at this anymore because I don't feel like there's a lot of players left. No, I'm not going to look at the free agent signings anymore, I think, in the offseason. That way we could just get to like the next season faster because most of these players are just EA generated guys at this point. So we're getting offered 2 fourths for one of our prospects and a third. That's not a bad offer, but I don't really want to move back in the draft necessarily. Our first and a Balakov prospect for which Johnson is that? Must be some guy that was drafted in like 2020 or something. In a third and a fourth. I don't really think we need another forward at the moment. And I don't really want to give up our first. Who is this? Nicholas Johnson. 24th overall in 2022. Only fits our fourth line. Yeah, that's not good. But that guy is a pretty solid player, though, for an 82 overall based on points. But I don't think we need him at all, considering he doesn't really match our system. So Sergei Zubov has accepted us. Apparently we gave him a lucrative contract, but I'm fine with that. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's just wait on those RFAs. If those RFAs don't start signing, I'm going to have to offer them a contract. And then I'll probably just do a jump cut to the start of next season. So McCardle's accepted, which is good. Anybody else going to accept? Kuzi, no. A lot of the AHL guys seem to hold out, which is kind of annoying. I mean, Hewitt as well accepts, which is good. That's another one of those guys that could make the NHL. Yar accepts. Daryl Sador's been traded with a fifth for Quinton Byfield and a fourth. Okay, so Sador's off to Hartford. Interesting. Ezra Stafford is signed, which is good because we needed that HL goalie. Another offer, a first, Dundas and Enland for Tishirgil in a third. No, thank you. Sillinger, a third and a fourth. No, thanks. They're offering me that center, which is important, so we could be doing some of these trades at the start of the season. Like Mike Ricci is not that bad, but he's kind of old. I think he just got signed as well, which is kind of weird. And a lot of these other UFA or RFAs seem to be holding out. Okay, let's go to those RFAs and sign some of them because I'm pretty sure some of them haven't signed yet. Because I think there's like about 5 of them. Oh, never mind. Oh, it's just Depenta that's holding out currently. Okay, Depenta, please accept 800k for 2 years. He's an 80 overall now, so he is growing, but he's not going to become that probably elite goalie, I would assume. So let's continue that sim to next season. Depenta should accept. If he doesn't, he's kind of annoying. And he has accepted, which is good. Pretty cheap contract for an 80 overall backup, I think. And hopefully he has a better second season than he did with this last year, because last year he only had like 2 wins in 20 games played. Okay, so we are up at the start of the season, I think. Got offered Jason Arnott. That wouldn't be a bad person to bring in, and we might want to do something like that. And Justin Barron in the third for Dallas Drake, interesting. Dallas Drake's still playing. 2 firsts for Breland and Connor Walchuk. Kind of a weird deal there. We should be at the start of the season. And then I'll probably edit the lines on my own, and then I'll see you guys in a second once that's done. We're getting offered so many trades, but I'm not making trades until I find out that Medano is dropped off a lot. Which I'm assuming he is, because a lot of these teams are offering us like centers, so. Okay, so we should be finally up here at the start of the season, or the preseason at least. And damn, this sim's so slow. Okay, so we're up here at the edited lines part, so I'm gonna quickly adjust all the lines, and I will see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so our lines are set. So we got Sidor, Wong, and Clancy together, +3 overall chemistry boost, which is great. DeSantis, Lundell, and Holwig has no chemistry, but it is still pretty good second line. Third line, we got Keith Drake with Mike Medano and Mika Antilla. So Medano has dropped off to an 80. He is still listed as a third line scoring forward, and he has also some good stats still. But yeah, he's dropping off quite a bit, and I might have to upgrade this position. and then maybe we scratch somebody like Franzen, like maybe Mike Modano becomes our fourth line center, and we pick up a second line center as well. At the moment, McCardle is in the lineup, and yeah, he's playing with Franzen and Ewan. But Martinson is scratched and Knights is scratched. Knights, I don't really know if we really want to keep him around. His best fit is for the top line, which he's definitely not going to play on our top line. We could use him as a depth forward for that top line, but I don't know if it's kind of unrealistic. Like, we could potentially trade him away and then get a better second or third line center in the team. I think that could work, but I don't know if he has a lot of trade value really. And then Zubov is also going to be playing his depth this year because he dropped off a bit more. And in our defensive core, we got Pavelski and Helmer, which is a nice +3, and then Ozolinsh and Patrick +1, and Sliger and Soleil that are +1. More of a defensive top 6, and then this top 4 is more offensive, except for Helmer, even though he did actually have a pretty good offensive season last year, I think. And then goalie-wise, at the moment, we got Jaguar, who's an 84 still, and Depenta up to an 82. So that's not too bad for a backup. He is listed as a starter, but based on last season's numbers, I don't think he's anywhere close to being a starter. So we're going to be using him as our backup. And if for some reason we're a bad team next season, I might trade him away while he has like the 1 year left on his contract, and his trade value might be a bit high. As for our special teams, I'll show you guys our power play because their penalty kill is kind of a bit weird. So we just got Wong, Clancy, Sador, so some good players there, and Pavelski and Antilles. So a couple snipers, a couple playmakers, and power forward. Yeah, power forward. And a good offensive defenseman. Down here on the second unit, we got Lindell, Drake, and DeSantis, and then as well Ozolinsh and Holwig. I put Holwig up here because he's got better shooting categories than, say, Drake does, because Drake's more of a passer. And then DeSantis, I believe, is, yeah, two-way kind of guy. And then, yeah, this is the same pretty much. And penalty kill-wise, like I wasn't going to show you guys, but it's not really the greatest. I don't know if it's going to perform that well. I feel like our penalty kill is going to be our weakness this season because of this. But, oh well, we'll see how it performs. And like I said, I think I might want to upgrade our third line center role some point this season if we aren't playing that well. And then we'll move me down to fourth line center. And then I don't know what's going to happen with Franzen. Franzen might end up being our depth guy. And then we'll have to trade away Knights probably. Or we could use Knights to trade for a third liner. Okay, anyways, let's get into the season simulation because we've wasted enough times with this free agency and stuff, and I don't know how long it took me to edit my lines and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully we're a pretty good team this year. Hopefully we could at least make it back to, not necessarily the cup finals, hopefully we do that, but if we can make it to like the third round again, maybe we will be a competitive team for the next few seasons, because we have been having some weird season simulations. Like last year we had kind of an odd season, and I think we just barely made it, and yet we still won the Stanley Cup. So never know what could happen in the playoffs, I guess. That's kind of the same with real life though. Like, you didn't expect probably Montreal to like have at least one game in the Philadelphia series. So preseason doesn't matter too much as long as these guys just get used to their lines and whatnot. But if this is the preseason, Modano actually might be worse than an 80. He might be like a 79. And if that's the case, then I might have to trade for a third line center before the season starts. We might not get a whole lot of the season done in this episode. It might be mostly the next episode because of the fact that I might be making a trade right away. Okay. So we got these last two games. Germany, we lose to. And the St. Louis Blues, who are down 2-0 in their series in real life, we lose to them as well. 3-3-0. Okay. Let's take a look at what's been doing good. So Sador's been really good in that preseason. I'm just curious on how Mike Modano's been performing at his age. 2 points in 6 games in the preseason is not that bad, but yeah, I feel like he's going to be worse than an 80 once we get to the first day of the season. So we'll check that out, make sure that's good. And if he is below an 80, like if he's like a 79 or something, I might move him to being a fourth line center for us and then pick up somebody else. And then Forenzen will be scratched as well, I guess. Let's take a look at those lines quickly again. So Medano is still an 80 at the start of the season, which is good. But he's not really a third line center. He's more of a fourth liner in my opinion. But this team, yeah, we look pretty good still, I think. We could be a competitive team this year. Okay. Yeah, so if Medano starts underperforming or something like that, we'll probably end up upgrading that third line position. Because, like, I mean, last year he was like an 82 or something like that, and he simmed really well. Like, he had like 60-something points, so you never know. 80s could still simulate pretty decently, I think. So let's go 1 month at a time. We'll try and get at least to January the 1st in this episode, but I don't know if we will. Depends if we have to make a trade or not on the simulation. Hopefully we can make it back to these playoffs again, because I want to get you guys at least a couple cups before we end this franchise mode in... I don't know when we're going to end this franchise mode or not. Like if I'm going to be playing this all the way till NHL 21, or if I'm going to do some other stuff up till NHL 21. Because currently with my new job and stuff like that, I work every day during the week. So far we are doing not too bad. Okay, so 5-2, and my voice is trying to go on me already. Game against the Flames is a 5-1 loss. That's not good. Yeah, right now at the moment we're not super consistent. Like we've had some bad games. I don't know if those are ones that Penta's been in. So Until has already been injured, which is not good. But we will go replace player. Yeah, that should put in Knights, I think, where he is. But yeah, this team is kind of streaky right now. We've lost a lot in a row. There's a 4-3 win over Anaheim, and last game of the month against Germany, which I believe is a tough team this year. Until is back. That's good. Oh, Knights is actually a pretty good fit on that third line if there's an injury to Antilla, so that's nice. So yeah, we'll probably keep Knights around as a depth guy. And we lose that one as well. Yikes. Okay, so we've been kind of struggling. We started the season pretty well, but then we lost here. We lost 3 in a row, 1-1, and then we lost another. So we've lost 4 of our last 5 games. Let me take a quick look at what lines have been underperforming. Because like I said, I think I want to upgrade that third line's center role. We're listed as a champion, but that third line with an 80 overall as a center is not necessarily the greatest. So any line that is really badly minused... Lundell's badly minused. Maybe that's a penalty kill. And Keith Drake is minus. Yeah, it's that third line, I think. And fourth line, actually, as well. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. So we're going to move Medano down. Put Franzen to there for now. But Franzen's actually a better fit on that second line, I think, over Medano. But I think what we're going to do is trade for a better third line center. Yeah, let's trade for a third line center if there's one available right now. This episode, like I said, might be long. It might be like not a whole lot of the season. I don't know. At the moment, let's just see if there's something that could help us out in that third line center spot, because I believe that's our problem. Blake Murray might be interesting. He fits only our penalty killing lines. That sucks. Is there anybody that could help us out? Philippe Boucher, no thank you. Even though he played in Dallas in real life. I want somebody that's like an 82 or so. Or 83. Dackel's not a face-off man though, right? No. Jason Arnott. 4 years left though, no thanks. And he only fits our bottom 6. There's gotta be somebody. Bentingson. Zhamnov. Alexei Zhamnov. We don't really know where he fits though, is that problem. Bentingson fits our bottom 6 lines, it looks like. But playing him on the third line would be probably too OP. Like, we don't want to be too good, but we don't want to be too bad either. And it might be a bit early to make a trade. Like, I might just wait till next episode, but if we're below 500, that might not be a good idea. Anybody interesting? There's not a lot of players on the block, really, that we need, though. Like, there's no centers, hardly. Connor Walchuk, you're also an 80. Yeah, you don't really do anything for us. Yeah, there's not really anything to trade for at the moment. At least that matches our schemes. So we're not going to make any trades just yet. We're just going to do that little line change with Franzen and Medano. And yeah, maybe we will make some trades though, like when we get to next episode, depending on how we sim. Because like I said, if we're way below 500, it's best to make a trade as soon as possible. Like right now we're 500, which is not good. We started the season like 4-1. I don't know if it's Depenta again as well. Like if Depenta's the one that's losing a lot of these games, then maybe we just find a weaker backup. Which is kind of weird to say. Because Jaguar was like a good simulator last season. It was just Depenta that was losing a lot of games. But at the moment, we do not seem to be a good defensive team. I don't know what it is. Game against Russia, 4-1 win. Okay, we might be having like a cup hangover. Who knows? Game against Tampa Bay is a 2-1 win. Okay, there's 2 wins in a row. And we beat also Winnipeg. So now we're on a 3-game winning streak. So yeah, this team is still really kind of inconsistent. They've been like that the last like 5 seasons where they just win a bunch of games. Then all of a sudden they say, oh yeah, we're going to take a break. And then they lose a lot. Based on like recording, we're almost at 30 minutes. But all those edited lines probably took like 10 minutes. So I would assume we're probably still around 20 minutes for this episode. You guys would know obviously because of YouTube, but yeah, we're on a good winning streak here now. We are on a 6-game winning streak. So maybe we don't need to make a trade. Maybe that line change actually helps. 7 in a row. Game against the Rangers to end the month. Aiden Patrick's been injured. That's not good. We're going to have to put in Sergei Zubov, but at least Zubov matches our top 4, I think. But I'm excited to see how Zubov actually plays. We didn't actually change his jersey number, but I'll probably do that if we were to ever go to the finals and see him in game, because I don't really like seeing it when players aren't wearing the right number. We do tie with the Rangers, so we are still picking up points in our last 8 games. That's not a loss, technically. So we're 14-8-2 and 1. Okay, how are we in terms of the standings in our division? We are currently 3rd, but it is a pretty tight race at the moment. Wong's over point per game, so that top line is still contributing really well. Let's take a quick look at our lines, just check the plus minus and kind of player stats, I guess, to an extent. So first line's been fantastic. Yeah, that plus minus is really good. So top line is completely fine. Second line is not the greatest in terms of plus minus. So we might want to make some line changes there, like maybe move Drake up and put somebody who like DeSantis has been 16. Lundell's not been that good. I don't know. And then third line, -2, -6. Yeah, that third line's also been problematic. And same with that fourth line. So it's more of our bottom 6, actually, that has been kind of minus. So we probably should still upgrade that center spot eventually. I don't know. Defensively, that's good. That for Zubov. Oh, Zubov hasn't played yet. Never mind. That's good. And top 6 has been -4. So maybe it's just this top 6 pairing. Like maybe we want to do something like Soleil and Zubov and then have Ozolinsh, even though he's an 88 on our top 6. Because he is getting power play time, I think. But he doesn't really fit that line as well. So I'll just leave that the same. If -4 is not the worst. Jaguar has been how good? 8, 7, and 1. Not bad. He's got a good save percentage and goals against. And Penta has been a lot better than his last season. Holy hell. It's like the opposite of last season. 2-15 to 6-1 now. Interesting. And then scratched wise, how has Patrick been playing since he's been injured? 4 points for an offensive defenseman. Yikes. Patrick might be one of these guys we want to eventually flip. I know it seems weird, but like Pavelski's a lot better of an offensive defenseman Like, he's got 13 points and a plus 15. Like, this guy could actually play defense as well. That's kind of interesting. Anyways, let's get another month of season simulation done, and then we'll probably end it there because I feel like this episode's probably going to be close to 30 minutes regardless, and I still have to record another episode after this. Just because of the fact that I work during the week, I always pre-record episodes now on the weekends. So we'll get one more month done, and then, like I said, next episode we'll do the rest of the season simulation. I'll be probably making my own trades up, obviously. And yeah, this team all of a sudden has just done really well. What the hell? 10-5 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Okay, so we might not actually be that bad of a team right now. Like, unless it's just our top line that's getting all these goals. But holy hell, this team has turned it around. Like, we have had points in like probably like 15 straight games almost. Okay, so defensively, Zubov, you're out. He has 4 points in 5 games. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Like, that's almost as much as Patrick had he had 25 games. So the question is, do we want to maybe have Patrick playing as a top 6 defender? And then we could also play Zubov instead of somebody else. I don't know. We could play Zubov in our lineup and then put Patrick as like a top 6 instead. But he doesn't fit as well down there. But this team is all of a sudden like done really well. Like, there's another tie. That's not even a loss. But there's a loss, 5-2 to the Canucks. So that's our point streak ended. But we are still way above 500, which I'm liking. Obviously, if we win the President's Trophy, though, that's not a good sign, though, because then we're going to be a first-round exit, more than likely. Okay, so Russia has fired their coach. We did tie with Edmonton. We got a couple more games left. 8-3 win over Buffalo. Yeah, our offense is really good. Our defense could use some improvement a bit, but then again, the NHL might have a lot of scoring this season, so other goalies in the league might be doing worse. There's another tie with the Winnipeg Jets. Finland has fired their coach. There was actually a better coach I was looking at in the offseason, like for our scheme fit, like by a couple percentages, but I think our guy's still he's younger than the other ones, so I decided not to fire a coach. Because it would be kind of weird to fire a coach after a cup win. It would be like what happened with like Barry Trotz. So Yuri Slager's been injured, so we'll go replace player. 5-2 win over Buffalo, and last game of this episode against Rangers. Still has to go. And it's going to be a 2-2 tie. So we're 20-11-6-1, and we're second in the division. So for not picking up a better third-line center, we're doing really well. Let's take a quick look at our points again throughout our lines. And then I'll show you guys the trading block, even though I am going to be pre-recording next episode, and then I'll be it. So top line has been absolutely fantastic. Like, look at those plus minuses. Plus 25 for Trevor Wong. Second line has still been kind of meh in terms of defense, and offense has been okay. Third line has been picking it up, it looks like, in terms of their plus minus, which is good. And then our fourth line is been kind of bad with McArdle, at least. So McArdle might be a bit of a weak source on this team. But it is his first season, so we could give him that. Defensively, Pavelski, he's got 25 points in 38 games. I'm loving this guy. For an undrafted defenseman, he's already got 58 points in 114 career games. This guy's going to be with us right till the end, I can tell you that. Hans Helmer's a plus 17, perfect defensive defenseman. Those two have been good together, actually. And then Zubov was good when he played so far. And Soleil's a -4. That's interesting, but I want to keep around Soleil kind of to an extent. Goaltending-wise, J.S. Jaguar's been killing it. We might actually have the best goalies in the league right now. 14-8-1 with 2 shutouts and 9-17 and a 2.47, so defense is not really much of a problem for him. And DePenta's kind of dropping off in terms of goals against. Okay, but he is still winning games. Knights, when he played, had 1 goal in 2 games. Slager, when he played, was a -3. And Martinson hasn't played. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. I think, yeah, because I'm not gonna show the trading block. Never mind, because this episode's probably running way too long. But in next episode, we will probably make a trade, maybe, depending on how we are simulating and stuff like that, to upgrade this third line center position. Because Franzen's been good, but I don't feel like he's a good third line center. So yeah, we might make a trade to pick up a better piece just to make us a more rounded team than we are now. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.